Come on, man. Come on out. No one else in there with you? What's your name, man?
Michael.
Michael what? What's your name, ma'am?
Megan.
Megan, is that M-E-G-A-N?
M-E-G-H-A-M.
What's your last name, Megan?
Ortiz.
What's that?
Ortiz. O-R-T-I-Z.
What's your date of birth?
12/8/79.
Alright guys, you guys got 5 minutes to break this down, move along. At a time from this point on, okay? What's that? We'll get to it. We'll get one piece at a time. So it's not with you, okay? You guys have any warrants or anything?
No.
No?
Well, got one in for failure to yield or something like that in Murray or something.
I got a bunch of misdemeanors.
Okay.
Looks like stuff. Huh? This crowd's gonna come over. That's them with the trailer over there.
Is it the trailer crowd?
Yeah. He's the dude in the poncho thing is one of the filmer people, I think.
Is the guy with the leg the guy that was shot
A while ago.
At the shelter?
Yeah, the one that started the riot.
I don't know. I thought he was in a wheelchair. Is he
That's
limping
why.
around?
No, he
He
can't
improved?
move his right leg at all.
I don't know. I guess it makes sense that he'd be with them.
So what's the trailer?
They go and they camp out there. They have all their gear, and then they hang out there for a while throughout the night. Come over and film us and stuff, I think. Yeah.
My mom. Y'all see my mom?
How's your fingers? You know better if you guys weren't here. If I weren't here? I know, right? You have a choice. I do? Go to work or not? Yeah, you do. Right? You wake up and make a choice to go or not to go. You're right. You're right.
Come on.
To go on this side to be right? What? We all have a side that we're on, right? You're on this side, we're on this side. I don't view it that way. That's your choice, right? Doing right thing? What's the right thing? Order? Like, is there like mayhem going on? Or is there like threats?
Yeah, there's threats.
What kind of threats?
So, I'm hooking them up, and I'm gonna grab the truck and go grab this. I'm gonna get super safekeeping, alright? You guys have any issues over here?
It's the same guy.
Okay.
Yeah, just doing his filming thing.
Cool.
So,
Alright, you guys are go forward. I have 2 more bike units are gonna come. Once they get here, I'll go grab the truck.
okay.
Cool with that?
Yeah,
So,
sounds good.
Yeah, we've also had people die trying to cross the road.
If some warrants.
yeah. I have one of them at a time, so I'll just dump it to them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because like if there's a possibility of dying just one, which is been proven, or possibly died. Yeah. Okay. So then, what is? Why are you trying to find out that there's one? You could die.
What's that?
So how do you do it? Yeah, how is it?
Ma'am, you can step back during our investigation, okay? Alright.
Well, I'm not.
Why are you guys like cleaning up this area? opposing officer?
Courting and not. Courting?
Courting?
Yeah.
Are you aware of the definition of courting?
Cordon?
Cordon?
Yeah.
Cordon.
Yeah.
I don't know
Never
what a
heard of it.
cordon is.
So, why are you making this inaccessible?
Why are we enforcing the no camping law and ordinance? That's our job. Now I'll refer back to what I am previous statement of protecting lives, where these people are subjecting themselves to harmful situations. When we've offered them rides to the shelter, which is open,
Who has offered?
they have transporters come over with vans. I know personally I've offered a couple rides today, and they say no, thank you. Yeah, they say they don't want it. Yeah. Because they don't like me? Okay, I get that. So,
What's your badge stands for?
my badge stands for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stands for.
So just because
Harassment,
someone
oppression.
doesn't like,
And
you gonna finish that statement, or you gonna?
you should know.
Oh, I know what it stands for.
You don't.
You don't know, now you know.
I mean, like. What are you doing here?
What are we
To
doing?
help. What are you doing to help?
Bouncing people? No, I'm just asking.
What are you
saying?
What are you doing to
that,
help?
I'm
What
here,
are you doing to help?
I'm asking you, what can I do to help?
Why are you here?
You're more articulate. So what?
That's fucking racist.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
No, I'm 3 feet away.
You can stand
I'm 3
on the
feet away.
side.
Don't touch
Public
me.
space.
Don't touch me.
Guys,
Don't
look,
touch me.
here's the thing.
Why are you here?
You gonna let me explain?
I just asked the question. Go ahead.
Good deal. So here's the thing. Right now, they are having extra police officers come here to clear out Library Square.
I'm 3
Okay?
feet away.
Cool.
You
Guess
guys
what?
want-
There's no shelter beds available.
What's your name?
Yeah, there are.
Hey, hey!
What the
What the
heck?
hell? What the hell are
What are
you
you
doing?
doing?
You can't just grab somebody like that.
Look, we've tell her to step back and you don't. Okay, you
Why
guys
can't
are
we
causing
step
the
here?
problem.
Why can't we
You
step
guys
here?
are wanting the problem. Okay,
There are no
we're
shelter
standing
beds
here.
available.
There are plenty.
We
There's
just called.
multiple.
We
There's
just called.
multiple new
There's
beds.
There's always beds available at the overflow. Okay.
At the overflow?
At the overflow.
Really, St. Vinny's?
Yes.
Guess what? 58 spots.
Okay.
There's not always beds available there. We've been there in person.
Okay.
So what's your next bullshit line?
Guys,
No, give us another line. Tell us something else, because we've done
we're
our
gonna
research.
stand here. You guys can stand there. Okay.
We've been there.
Don't walk over here.
Why are you
okay?
bouncing people?
They have asked us to, and it's illegal.
Who's they?
Okay.
Who's they?
The city,
What?
our
Who
department,
with the city asked you? Who? Give us a
Salt
name.
Lake City.
What person
hires
with
the
the
police
city?
department? They make the laws. The police department has extra police officers to come and clear.
City?
Okay.
What person with the city told you this? The mayor?
We don't get the contact from the city. The
So
city
you- the
talks to our
chief.
department,
The chief told you.
and then we have
So the chief.
a situation where we sign up
Okay,
for extra overtime.
you can't
You
arrest
understand
people or fine them when shelters are full.
that? They're not.
So
full.
you can't tell them to leave. If they stay here, you cannot arrest them or fine them. Fact.
Guys, they're
Fact.
gonna go. They're gonna go.
Is that
we're
a fact or is
we're
that
gonna
not a
clean
fact?
this place up. Okay. These
What do you
guys
mean
have
clean
actually
this up?
been
These are
warned.
people. What are you cleaning up? You're destroying people's shit. You're not cleaning up anything.
Okay.
You're hurting people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Taking resources away from you, yo.
Why you cover your face?
It's
Why you
cold
cover
out
your
here.
face?
You can't make people leave.
Okay, where we're going to. Okay. If you
Really?
wanna
So
make
you're
a
gonna break
complaint
the
later,
law?
Film this. Make a complaint.
Don't
later.
worry, I
That's
am filming,
fine. I know
motherfucker.
you guys have been doing
So
it
let
for a
me
long
ask you
time.
something. This is the 10th Circuit. Under persuasive authority from the 9th Circuit's ruling in Martin v. City of Boise, which I know you know because I told your fucking colleagues that the other day.
Hey,
Why are you arresting her? Hey,
They've got
why are you
warrants.
arresting
They've got
her?
warrants.
I'm on the
You
phone.
can't-
Yield.
You can't arrest her for no reason.
She has a warrant.
Really? So you came out here and are just fucking with people more? You came out here to arrest people. You didn't come out here to clean up shit. For a traffic warrant.
Someone for a traffic
What about him? What's wrong with him?
Why is he being arrested?
He's got warrants too.
traffic warrants? Or like
We're not going to tell you his personal warrants, okay?
You fucking motherfucker. Hey, you want to give us your name so we can help you get out?
Hey, man, let's stay back, all right?
Hey, what's your name?
Stay back. Hey,
Megan Ortiz?
stay back.
I'm providing legal aid. I'm providing legal aid.
It's nothing new, guys, okay?
Hey,
Stay
no,
back.
exactly.
Stay
We know
back.
you motherfuckers are regularly out here fucking with people.
Hey.
It's nothing fucking new. That's right, we know. Hands off me, motherfucker. You don't have
Stay
any
back.
even
Stay back.
No, I'm fine.
Guys, you're the one causing this.
Don't touch her.
You are
You're the ones
causing
arresting
this.
people.
That's correct.
warrants for traffic, and they're homeless. Where's the humanity of
Step out of the roadway.
Where's your badge
Out of
number?
the roadway.
What's your name?
Out of the
Oh,
roadway.
you want me to
Out of the
What's your
roadway.
name? Gardner.
Step
Okay,
back.
Gardner.
Templeton.
Okay, thank you.
That's
Thank
Templeton.
you.
Mike,
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck
Hey, you guys, how is that help? It is fucking freezing outside.
Okay, buddy.
Piece of shit.
So sick of your fucking shit.
I
You guys are straight
apologize
fucking
you don't
evil.
like me,
Hey,
okay?
what's your name and badge number?
motherfuckers out here still doing the same shit.
Officer Gardner, what's your name and badge number?
You have no cause to
Gardner,
break
you
up
already
these
said
camps
Gardner,
when there's
right?
no shelter beds
And it's
available. Get the
097.
fuck out of here.
I'm the only gardener here, so.
Get your.
What's your name
Where
and
is
badge
your
number?
supervisor?
Hands up, don't shoot, motherfucker.
Hey,
Hands
who
up,
is the
don't
highest
shoot.
ranking officer here?
Hey, can we get your stuff? What stuff is yours?
Who is the highest ranking officer here?
Him.
Okay, hey. Are you the highest ranking officer here? Is it the blue tarp? Who's the highest ranking officer here? Okay, cool. Get your fucking boss down here. No?
Yeah,
Okay,
get
you're
your
breaking
commander.
the law.
Get the watch
motherfucker.
commander down
Yes,
here.
you are. The
Get
10th
the watch
Circuit.
commander down
The
here.
10th Circuit is under persuasive authority from the 9th Circuit ruling that says you cannot. No,
So solidly
you
right
can't
now
break
we've
these
got
camps
1,
up.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 armed cops arresting
you're not listening to me. I'm telling you the
do
law.
you identify
10th Circuit is under
has
persuasive
a
authority
traffic warrant?
from the
So-
9th Circuit's ruling.
That's
Marvin Oliveras,
fantastic.
you cannot
We
arrest
wouldn't need
people
all
or
these guys
detain
if you
them
guys didn't cause the
just because they're taking shelter when the
okay,
shelter
so
beds are full.
Officer Gardner
We
here
called
says
5
that
minutes
they
ago
need this
when the
many
shelter
people.
beds are
Because
full.
when you guys
You
come and
cannot
yell and
arrest
cause
people
a
out here.
scene,
So
You can't get
filming.
their ID.
No, no,
You
no, it has
can't
nothing to
fucking
do with
detain
filming.
them.
It has
If you're
nothing
gonna
to do
take
with
their
filming.
shit,
Yelling.
you gotta get the health
Yeah, multiple
department.
people
Because I've
yelling,
like yelled
encroaching on
in
us and
public
stuff.
before.
Is
and
there a
no
social-
So
one
it's when you
showed
guys,
up with
everyone
that.
encroaches. I'm just legitimately trying to explain why it's going down.
Hey, I'm legitimately trying to
I know,
like
but
Is there a social worker here?
understand how people who are literally armed right
You
now
come
are
out here with
threatened by someone
guns
yelling.
We're all-
And fucking mace
no,
Yeah.
and weapons,
Look,
and you
that's
expect people to just
we're
take
not-
your
we don't
shit
think you're gonna
every
shoot us.
fucking day.
Okay.
You've been doing this every
but we don't want to
fucking
get punched
day.
in the face by
And
someone
we're trying to
that's
keep
agitated
people
or
alive
something.
out here.
punched
We're
you in
giving
the
them
face?
food,
He-
we're giving them warm
he kicked an
blankets,
officer
and you motherfuckers
at
come
the-
out here and
at
totally
the,
undermine
riot.
that work.
At the
And
riot.
was arrested.
This is our
Actually,
fucking
he does have
community.
history
Get the
of
fuck
violence
out of
towards
here.
police officers.
You've
Okay,
already
that
fucking
solidly didn't
fucked with
happen.
2 people for today. On no reason. You come out here and run their warrants. You realize you can't get her name if she wasn't being detained. She did not have to provide you with her name or any information because she's not breaking the law being here. She can't violate a camping ordinance. She can't violate a camping ordinance when the shelters are full. She can't violate a camping ordinance when people are full. Get fucked. Dude, fuck off. Do you want to talk about something real or not? I don't want your advice on my filming.
On YouTube, it's easier to deal with.
Cool.
it
Do
the
you
other way.
want to fucking say something real or you're just going to be a fucking dick?
I've been
You ready
Okay,
to get
fuck
these
off.
guys?
Does anyone here want to
Get outta here.
actually, like, give us some answers on why you're breaking the law?
Go ahead.
They are not in violation of the law right now. So you motherfuckers got no reason to be here. This is public space. You can't get fined or ticketed or criminally charged in public space when the shelters are full. We called 10 minutes ago. The shelters are full. Get fucked. Seriously. And putting your hands on us when we're not breaking the law, we have no fucking reason to respond to you.
That's the
We're not
motherfucker
breaking
that
the law.
touched me right there.
We're standing with our community.
Right there.
It's fucking raining out here and you're gonna come trash people's shit? So if none of you guys can answer, then get your fucking boss.
We've already answered.
Where is your boss? I want you to get, if this came from the city, then get a city council member down here. If this came from the mayor, get the mayor down here. If this came from the chief, get the chief down here. Okay? If you guys are doing this thing, we're just doing our jobs, then get us the fucking shot callers. Anyone? Okay, then fuck off, because we're just doing our job too. So get out of here. Fucking assholes. Is it that much to ask that you leave these camps alone? Fuck off. And by the way, you illegally detained her. You can't just run warrants on people willy-nilly. You had no cause to ask for her name. Same with him. And you're fucking getting him on warrants for what? No, we don't. No, this is public space.
I'm giving you a lawful
Is this
order.
public space?
I'm giving you a lawful order now.
You need to justify with a law.
Because we're doing an investigation
Of
right
what?
now. All right, partner.
This is
What's
your
the
choice.
investigation?
You're done.
What's the investigation of?
Stop.
Dude, I'm not doing anything. Hey,
Relax.
you can't
Stop
arrest
resisting.
me.
Stop
You
resisting.
can't arrest me.
Stop resisting.
What are you arresting me for?
Stop resisting!
You haven't done anything.
Yeah, I got left.
No.
I got left. Okay. Let's take him down. Okay.
Give up your hands. Yes. Give up your hands.
I got taser if you need it.
Okay, man, just give your hands. There you go. Film it.
Look at your fucking work.
Film it.
You should tell
Go
your
step
kids
back.
like this.
I got you. Here. Yeah, just pull up the sleeve a little bit. There we go. Alright. Yeah. Other side. You had the choice. You could have
I had
moved
the
back.
choice. What did you arrest me for? Fuck you. Fuck you, motherfucker. What did you arrest me for?
Relax.
Tell me what you arrested me for.
Relax.
Hey, tell me what you
Back on
arrested
the
me for.
sidewalk.
We're getting the shit and then
Step back
we're
on the
getting the
sidewalk.
shit and then we're getting it.
We're almost done. Can you let us?
Tell me what you arrested me for.
This is all we got left. Let us take this shit out of here.
Tell me what you arrested me for.
You were given a lawful order.
How can you give me a lawful order to leave public
Sidewalk.
property?
Film from the sidewalk.
You're scaring us up. Can we do that?
Hey, man, you're not listening. So
What were you investigating?
illegal,
What were you
illegal camping or
This is
boring.
Please
illegal
step back. I don't
camping.
feel safe with you. We're moving
And
our stuff.
then-
Please stay away.
We needed some space,
This is
so
not
we asked you to get back and you
illegal
refused.
camping.
Back to the sidewalk. And then you resisted
Right
arrest.
now?
No.
Grabbing things.
Right now, this is what
We
you
are
want.
grabbing things.
This is
This
I
what
understand.
want.
This is what you want. This is why you come here.
You guys
Okay?
need to
You
understand
could have been nice and
that
polite
right
and have
now,
a conversation
no,
with us.
you
any
need to
day
step
of
back
the
on the
week,
sidewalk.
right?
Okay? I'm giving you a lawful order to stay on the sidewalk.
Get the fuck out of here.
Maybe. Hey, do we need
Things
to wrap
might
you up
go
in like
to a
the whole
situation
thing, or
where you
You
can
do your
retrieve this.
fucking
As of
thing.
right
No, I'd
now,
rather not.
you need to step back onto the sidewalk.
Do I seem like I'm gonna fucking cooperate
Could you-
with fucking Nazis?
I mean,
Up to
it's up to you. It's,
David,
Make
get
it a
fucked.
point that we get this shit. If we do step back,
yeah, we might.
You
need
guys,
one.
you guys step
Sounds
we're,
like
we've
once
asked
we're out.
you multiple times to step back while doing
We're
our
asking,
investigation.
how can we get this stuff?
Let us clear here first. Whatever's left, you take, okay?
Whatever's left, so you are gonna take
You
things.
realize
Got
how
earpieces.
the fuck
We're starting to figure things out.
Okay, well he said that we
We
can
can
get our
take
stuff,
this
so,
and we
so
can-
now you're
Hey,
saying that
no,
you're
I didn't
not.
say that.
We're gonna
Listen,
need one.
okay?
What are you saying?
Listen.
You got one?
This is not your stuff, correct? It's his stuff.
This is not your stuff either.
Listen, hey,
Shut the fuck up. What do you gotta say, motherfucker? Huh? Hey, what? Hey, what, motherfuckers? Hey, we're gonna keep harassing these motherfuckers? We're gonna keep arresting
Yeah,
motherfuckers? Hey, what, motherfucker? I see you out here regularly doing this shit.
I need to
Don't
go.
act like I don't fucking know you, Brooks, with your fucking goofy ass motherfucking stash. Motherfucker, we see you out here every day doing this fucking shit.
I need you guys on the sidewalk.
Motherfucker, we're on public property. I'll be right motherfucking here.
You need to step back on the
Hands
sidewalk.
up, don't shoot, motherfucker. Hands up, don't shoot. I ain't moving no fucking place.
You need to step back on
No
the sidewalk.
fucking place, you hear me? This is fucking
Go,
public
legs up.
property. Do something, motherfucker.
One time.
Cross legs.
Do something, motherfucker.
it goes through.
It's gonna go through there.
You motherfuckers done here? Get the fuck off. What do you gotta do here? What do you got left to do, motherfucker? Huh? Huh? Nothing? You can't say shit? Now you can't say nothing, motherfucker? Cause you ain't saying shit that's worthwhile, motherfucker. You're telling me you're out here harassing motherfuckers, arresting people for camping and sleeping and surviving on fucking New Year's when it's storming. That don't mean shit to me, motherfucker. Exactly, cause you motherfuckers are heartless. Look at that fucking goofy ass grin. You heartless piece of shit. What? We ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere, motherfucker. What?
There it goes.
You all gonna stay out here all night? Cause I'm gonna be out here all fucking night.
Roll over, sit up.
What?
Now's a good time to go to the bar. Check it out.
Yeah, check on that motherfucker. Go do your fucking job, motherfucker. Go do your fucking job. Do your motherfucking job. Get the fuck out of here.
What the fuck are y'all doing to him?
Motherfuckers. You motherfuckers are punks.
How could you put him on his back?
You motherfuckers ain't shit with a fucking badge and a motherfucking gun, huh?
Weight is on his hands and his wrists.
Yeah, that one's good. Let's sit him up. We can check the back.
Look at you motherfuckers. It's always the same motherfuckers.
We're all right.
And then we got a fucking token.
Hey man, we're gonna sit you up. Ready?
They brought the fucking token out here for nothing. Yeah.
Wait, just
Chill
kidding.
out,
Just like
motherfuckers.
you.
You too.
Fuck you, dude.
Yeah,
Fuck
all
you. This is making it worse. You motherfuckers are making it worse. Stop it. You're making it worse.
Really? Look at these
Are
motherfuckers.
you? Am I the one trying to throw people in cages? Motherfucker.
This ain't the fucking
Am I the
end,
one trying to
motherfuckers. You
get
know
the
that,
fuck
right?
off.
You fucking know that, right?
Get the fuck
This ain't the
off.
motherfucking. I see you every fucking day, motherfucker. Yeah, look at me. Remember me. I know you motherfuckers know me because I know you motherfuckers too.
Move out of the fucking way.
Heartless motherfuckers, man. Fucking
Move out of
heartless
the fucking
motherfuckers.
way.
That's fucking great, man.
Look at this goofy motherfucker smiling. You're probably a killer too, huh? How many of you motherfuckers are killers? How many of you lied for a motherfucking killer?
And you fucking get paid for the shit.
Yeah.
You fucking get paid to kill.
You guys are fucking
Motherfuckers.
real heroes.
Look at you, motherfucker.
That's
Where's
how
the
your
social
community
workers?
sees you.
Where's the
Not a
social workers?
zero.
Where's the health department? Where's the health department?
health
Where's your
department?
motherfucking
Where's
watch
the social
commanders?
workers?
Huh? Look at you, motherfucker. You guys
You
ain't
don't
shit.
know.
Keep bringing them.
You don't
Keep
fucking
bringing
know.
them, motherfuckers. Keep bringing them.
You don't
Look how many
even fucking
motherfuckers you
know.
need with guns and badges. Look at us. Unarmed. Fucking punk motherfuckers.
no pistols. You act like that? Absolutely. Act like what, motherfucker? The way you just did. Told you to leave our fucking friends alone?
You're
doing a job. Leave our fucking friends alone?
I'm not gonna goofy motherfucker.
Because you know what you're doing is wrong.
You ain't shit.
Yeah, it is, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's why you
It's
took
evil.
this job because you're the last guy picked on in high school, huh, motherfucker? Now you want to pick on motherfuckers.
Do you have someone
That's
already
not how
assigned
it's
to
gonna
transport
be.
him or not? Okay.
These
You
people
got
are
your body
community.
cam on, motherfucker?
These
Yeah,
people
name and
are
badge number.
community.
Badge
Hey,
number.
these people are community.
Uniform 40 Jaquetti. Fucking body cam on, motherfucker.
What you still haven't told me how you fucking interfering with what, motherfucker? They were breaking the law.
Yeah, fuck
This is
you.
our
You
community.
motherfuckers
Don't
are breaking the
fucking
law
with me.
being here right now,
Really?
motherfuckers.
You can't give me a lawful order with no justification. It's not illegal to camp. We're in the shelter for motherfucker. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
I'm not sure who's coming.
Yeah, because you know you're full of shit.
Look at how many of you motherfuckers need to be here with guns
Fucking
for some
full of
peaceful,
shit.
motherfucking unarmed folks trying to survive. Chicken shit motherfuckers. Every last one of you motherfuckers. You go home and fucking brag about this shit to each other and your fucking wives like you're tough, huh? You ain't fucking tough. None of you motherfuckers are tough.
That's real funny, huh?
Where's the social workers? Where's the health department? Where's your motherfucking watch commander? Who's the watch commander? Who's the watch commander? You? No,
They're all
little
civilians.
stupid ass ain't shit.
They're not sworn on.
Little goofy
They're not
motherfucker.
sworn members of the department, so they have today off.
For real.
But like all the beds are full.
They're all fucking peons.
Okay,
Y'all
they're
are
not all full. I think we can just go.
Y'all are
I
fucking
called all the way through.
Which one's the call?
Y'all are
We called
fucking
the
tools.
emergency line, the 990.
They tell you that the Miller Center School. Miller Center School.
Which one?
No, not back there. So the Miller Center School.
They said,
What
they said all three of them.
We love you, brother.
We love you, Ethan.
Really?
I'd love to have a conversation with you at a different point in time. Right? Obviously, right now.
Oh yeah, you're gonna hurt me because I'm fucking not letting you act like
Take
that,
me
you
to a
motherfucker.
cage gun here or what?
Oh yeah, they'll mace me in the chair. I know. I'm aware. You guys are tough motherfuckers. I know. Not bad guys.
Justice for Coley.
Then we'll sit him up right there.
So, no, it would be great if we could find a solution that works for everyone.
Yeah, you laugh, right? Laugh. Laugh, motherfucker.
Once he's out of here, we'll go start clearing out.
Clearing out. Guys, our guys? Yeah, okay.
Brothers, you fucking killed fathers. Fucking pulling people for fucking stupid shit. People lose fucking homes because their parents can't go home to pay the fucking
people on
bills.
warrants?
And y'all are proud of this shit that y'all do.
I don't know what Ethan got.
Y'all proud? Motherfucker. Who's in charge?
Right now?
Some piece of shit.
Okay, Tal's gone. Okay. The other two gone? It's gonna be Sergeant Warner
Hello, piece of shit.
or Harris or Lindsay.
Peace on.
to verify body cam stuff going interacting with the public. Is that a yes or a no?
Now they have so much information on what
Yeah, I'm
you have to do.
So they park right over here and they stay there all night.
Yeah, let's
That's what they do full time.
Oh yeah, I've seen them sitting
Yeah,
outside
like I've been talking
mobile
to
command center over there.
when individuals will have a conversation and dialogue with me.
yeah.
I
Like I've actually been trying to
Give this guy a lawful order.
it would be great.
Yeah.
Because
He's got a
honestly, like
mask.
obviously, like I've been doing.
I know. I
this
asked him about it.
work.
Said he's cold.
No, I'm freezing.
See, this is now
See,
it's
no,
all their
it's like
choice.
I printed out the packet.
They would not be thrown on the ground.
Yeah.
And it said that there's a crisis intervention
They just
team
backed
of
up.
officers in that
Film all you
packet.
want,
It says that
you
they
know.
are supposed to be the ones that respond.
So this situation wasn't a cleanup. This wasn't anything like that. It was a warrant
But
check.
it says that okay.
It would so.
So can you
Okay.
guys do that though? Just come and check people's warrants?
I can I can talk to you and say, hey, what's your name, right?
Yeah.
And you can say, hey, my name is such and such. Okay, my name is such and such.
Yeah.
And I can go run your name for warrants. There's no case law that says I can't run your name.
People have to legally give you their name.
And so there's 3 levels of interaction with people. There's 3 levels. On a level 1 encounter, it's a encounter like you and I are having
Yeah.
right now, where I can be talking to you, and if you want to leave, you can leave. And if I ask you your name, you give it to me, I can run it for warrants.
Okay.
So, and then there's other times where you're compelled to, like on a reasonable suspicion, and then there's a third one of probable cause, right?
Can you answer why Ethan was
Why was he
arrested?
I don't know.
Does anybody know?
I'm
here?
guessing
We
it
have
was
lawyers
interfering.
on, so
I'm guessing it was interfering. So,
Okay.
but today's encounter wasn't a cleanup. It wasn't a healthcare cleanup. It wasn't anything like that. It was a warrant check that led to an arrest and then showed up. So
So are we
I will be here tomorrow from 5 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
here down here?
So if I see you, I'll come up and talk to you.
I'm down here every day.
Okay. I didn't see you today, so
No, I was cooking all day. I just got done. It's all in my
Okay.
car.
I'm Officer Brooks. So if I see you, I'll stop and talk to you.
I don't have any warrants, I promise.
I'm not gonna run you. So
Laughing about it. That's good. We hear all this shit. We see all this shit. Get the fuck on. Get the fuck on, you coward motherfuckers. We'll be here when you get back. Especially you goofy motherfuckers. We'll be here when you get back. Yeah, you. I see you every fucking day doing
Okay.
this shit. Get a fucking heart, you fucking useless piece of shit. Do something good. Do something good. Yeah. Fuck you.
I'm just waiting for you to back out.
Get the fucking flag off!
What? No, I just make sure that no one does anything to you while you're backing out. You got someone behind you now. Sarge? Sarge?
I come from here and I'm Mormon and I was raised Mormon and I think that everyone I knew at church as a kid would be fucking disgusted. I'm off to say the next week here. I don't talk to her. Why don't you want to take my mom? It's awful. Someone got how can you smile?
Are you talking about other
I'm not smiling.
Remember that you're on fucking stolen
Like, how do you guys sleep at night?
Your people stole this fucking
It's
land.
difficult.
Why don't you be polite back?
Because
Where do
you're literally just
Motherfucker, you're
blooded
wearing a
someone.
badge.
I don't
That's
know.
not polite.
You don't know.
Where do you-
don't
Like,
care.
this nice
No, I care.
politics is fucking
I actually have.
bullshit.
I've had
Would you be
quite a
nice
few
if you-
conversations
if
with
we
people
tackle
that
this
will have
motherfucker and display his
have
badge?
conversations with me
Would you be nice?
and try to
you
figure out
wouldn't.
how to
You
do it.
should be,
But
motherfucker.
why are you
Fuck
not
you.
doing this?
Do what are we doing?
Coming
We're
down
all
here and
different
harassing
people.
these
It's
people,
really
like, where
hard
are
to
they
be
supposed to go? The beds are full. You guys didn't call,
I did.
apparently.
I did.
So then why did you show up? Because you knew the beds were full.
No, that's not the case. So
I just called. The beds
Okay.
are full.
You being a
So,
police officer doesn't make
currently the beds are spoken for. What they do is they go down there and you can stay there and take the unclaimed beds. What they'll do is if there are beds that are full, if they are full, they will transfer them to a warming station. I understand that
Warming
that's
station where they have to sit up in a chair all night with lights on and a movie playing. That's great. It's a great concept, and it's great for one or
Do
two
you want me
nights.
to
How
finish? Do you want me to
never
finish what I was saying before you rudely cut me off? Because this is how things are resolved, right? We have a dialogue where it's a give and take, where I tell you kind of my side, and you tell me your side, and we come to a common
Okay,
ground.
go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
So, I agree. That's not a long-term solution, and it's not ideal, and it's not perfect.
And it says poo-poo head on it. It definitely
On your side, what could we do to help? What could we do to make this better? 'Cause I've personally been doing this for 5 years. I've been on the bike squad dealing with this aspect with dealing with people who are experiencing homelessness for 5 years. Okay, I've tried.
No, Marvin, hold on.
it's good.
Hold on.
I've tried the gamut. As
I've
you can
been
tell
here.
by
I've been on these streets.
as you can tell by the looks of me, I don't fit your cookie cutter mold. I didn't come from like you will grow up and be a cop background. I grew up doing things that everyone I went to high school said, "You're a cop." Never saw that coming. Okay, so I approach law enforcement with a different mentality than your 1980s cops on TV approach,
See that?
because you haven't had a conversation with me. And the problem is I will attempt to have a dialogue with people, and then you have people that are a little more boisterous that yell at me, and then as I'm trying to have a conversation with them, yell back at me, and then I shut up. Because I'm not going to sit there and yell back and forth with someone who's unwilling to listen to me. Because yeah, you're right. Is this working? No, it's not working.
No.
It's not working, right?
But coming down and harassing them and making them move to where
So-
you can't
so-
even
so-
say where to move.
So today, I know it seems as if we were coming to make people move. No, we're not coming to make people move. It was a simple talk. So what we're doing is we're going around making sure people aren't frozen inside their tents, right?
So that's like a policy change? Because you've been
Ma'am,
taking people's
ma'am,
shit.
or I'm sorry, what pronoun would you like to be identified as?
They, them. Thank
Okay.
you for this
I apologize.
neoliberal
I apologize.
hell.
I
Write in my journal about this.
We've had people die inside their tents because they're having little burners or things. So yes, part of our duty is to protect life, right? Part of that is to even though camping is illegal, I've been on shift all day. Do you know how many people I've kicked out of here? And my job is to deal with the downtown section and on view. I have not removed one person from Library Square today in my 10-hour shift. So today, what we have been doing is contacts with people, make sure they're okay. If we recognize them and we know their names, we by law can run their names for warrants. It was a warrants check which resulted in them having warrants, and that's why they were arrested. We were going to take their stuff and we weren't going to throw it away like the health department does. As a police department, we cannot do that.
So where does it go?
It went to our evidence. It was going to go to our evidence unit and be booked as safekeeping. Okay? That's where it was going to go today. The health department issue is a different issue. I can't get into my personal views about that. But as far as legally, the health department, they are their own entity. And when we're here, we are strictly here to make sure that people don't get in a fight between the two. Okay? What's that? There are discussions that happen regarding the health department on a daily basis from people like myself and the admin and the health department admin. Okay? We are trying, just as you are, unfortunately, there is this divide between the two groups that we don't see where the other people are coming from. I'm trying to, and I know the people that I work with personally are trying to, I know that I've been dealing with the same group of people, not like everybody, but for the most part, the same people that are out here tonight were out here 5 years ago when I started on this OnView unit. I have extended countless resources, whether it be at the CCC, the VOA, the old road home shelter, the new shelters. And frankly, they just tell me, yeah, I'm not interested. And that's their choice. That's their choice.
I've been out on these streets homeless.
Yeah.
It's so fucking hard to get out of it, especially when you end up being strung
The
out
wait
to
list is
cope.
long, huh?
Like, well,
So-
no, just even like how do you wrap your head around? I mean, we have people that are they don't even want to go inside.
Would you mind if we continued this conversation out of the roadway?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
That would
people
be-
start
that would
driving
be great.
Crazy.
No, but with like you were saying,
Well, there are people that have been out for so long that it's scary for them to even have to go inside. Like they don't
I can
even
empathize.
understand
I
how
can
to
empathize with that.
So it takes a lot.
It took me 2 months to realize that I had my own
It's
shower.
the same as like incarceration.
I can empathize
It's the
that.
same concept of the mentalization of when you're incarcerated, you get out. You don't know what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
So I understand that it's probably frustrating to deal with the same people
No.
who seemingly don't want help, but on their side it's fucking hard. The only way I got out was to go to prison.
Yeah.
And that sucks that it has to be that way.
When were you in?
I got out 2011 and
So-
changed my life.
So for me, I don't judge it with that frustration that you're saying. Okay, I don't.
Do you understand the fear
I've never
that you put
experienced-
into people when you guys roll up 20 deep?
I understand what that might. I can empathize with what that might look like, but you have to understand that in the very beginning, it's not 20 deep. It's 2.
We had 3 originally.
It's typically 2, 3 at the most. But what happened is that there were things that happened that kind of snowballed into that 20 deep.
What, because someone stood up to you guys?
No, it wasn't just someone. It was a large group. We didn't know what was going on.
You guys know us.
And I know.
Majority
You
of
know
them,
our
I know you
faces.
by name. I
You
do.
know half our names.
I don't know you. I know Ethan and Marvin. That's the only 2 I've had to deal with.
So you know what they're about. You know they're just fighting for these people's rights.
I understand what they're fighting for, and today was a little different than I've experienced. Today was a lot more aggressive, and I understand the context of it, and I understand why it was more emotional because it's very inclement weather. It's a holiday, and what it appeared was that we were doing the health department
The health department raids.
ordinance maintenance.
That's what it
Okay,
says.
it wasn't. It was not. All right. It was a warrants check that led into a warrants arrest, and then what happened was as soon as the handcuffs came on, before you got here, because I saw you come over, before you got here, things escalated really quick.
So I
With
watched the whole thing on live feed on the way down.
so things escalated to a point where it was more than we were used to.
So what was he arrested for?
I wasn't involved in the arrest. I was standing making sure that sympathizers didn't get pulled into that situation.
Like,
What?
like this is the funny thing is that we're just a group of fucking citizens that
There's-
care.
There's nothing funny
We
about it.
don't have any money, but we're coming up with money. We're feeding these people every day. We're handing out sleeping bags and warm coats and shit that you guys come and take.
We don't take it.
We're doing all of this with no funding, no money.
We don't take it. And trust me, there are conversations regarding the removal of sleeping bags, blankets, and coats. There are conversations happening that need to be addressed by people that are above officer level, okay? Because there are certain things that need to change, okay? Especially
Policy, codes, everything. Yeah. And all the ordinances.
So what
Whether
do we
it be-
do in the meantime? And
That's why
how
I'm
do
trying-
we
that's why I'm
prevent
trying to talk
this
to you
from
because-
Hey,
happening?
so the new mayor that's coming in, all those city council meetings, you go to those.
We do.
Okay, all of them though. And you need to be a voice, not 2, 3 of you, not 4 of you, not 10 of you. Then if you need to make your voice heard. That's how things done. That's
But-
how.
But this is the level of why the level of frustration that we
I
have
do?
is because we feel like
See, I usually get told that I look like I'm judging people.
No, there's huge.
Is that what it is?
That was the news on the other day.
That's what I get a lot. I get that a lot. It's just my face. I was born with it. I wish I had a face like that.
That are being turned into.
I wish I had a face like that. Like that.
And
Like
from my personal
this
experience,
guy gets
I have
along with
physically
everybody.
helped many transients that
I'm like, man, I'm a nice
I
person.
feel like
will
I
take
have
them drunk. I don't take them to jail. I don't
I don't
take
get
them to
that.
detox. I take them home.
No, that's just
James Martinez, I've taken
Squints.
home to his apartment 4 days in a row, and I could take him to jail. I could take him to detox, but I know what's best for him. I just want him to help him and get him home. So I get him home. And to me, that means something to me because I actually care about the guy. Last night I was here doing the same thing, and I was positive he was dead right there. I went and woke him up, got him health, and got him warm, and I took him home.
I get it. We're out here for the
So
same
in the meantime, until the bosses, the people that are in charge, figure out with this biblical solution, what can we do to facilitate dialogue between you guys and your organization and us?
That's my question as well.
Because
So that
I've
this
tried to
doesn't
have this
happen again.
conversation with Ethan and Marvin, and
You've been by far the most common polite.
it's instant. It's instant.
some people get.
I can't do that.
It's hard to.
Communicate that to the people who can.
I do.
I know
Do
we
you?
do.
Yeah,
Then
they.
why do you come out here every night? Why do you come out here every night? To harass them, okay?
We're having a good talk. Hold on.
So
How do we
In the
bridge
meantime,
the gap so
what
that
can we do-
know when you guys are just doing body checks and not trying to make people move, and then we don't have to get all riled up and our people don't have to get arrested?
I think simple dialogue. We're not going to lie to you. For one, if we get caught in a lie, we get fired.
Well, we show
And
up.
two,
Ideally
everything's
speaking,
recorded,
that's what would
right?
happen.
like with Salt Lake City and the administration, you lie, you get fired.
Look, we can't
Like
even-
Salt Lake, I know that nationally there is a trend of things going
police accountable?
things going like that. Salt Lake City,
We can't even get your officers to answer us if their body cams are on.
Exactly. We can't
They're
get
all-
an answer
they're
on
on.
penal
they're on.
I'll show you
But
the trick.
should they not
See that
answer
red-
us?
I know, but look, just look. You see the red flashing light?
Yeah.
It means it's recording.
So if I walk up to a cop being like,
Well, don't get up in my face for sure. You can
Okay.
see it from far away.
So we're not.
You can't
It's
see
not.
So, like, yeah, how do
I
you
guess I'm
start a
6. I guess I'm
conversation?
6'5".
I mean, I'm 4'11", so it works out.
So yeah, it's as simple as
How do you tell that it's just a warrant check and not a cleanup?
Well, that's a good question. It's
because
not like
then that's,
most of the
that's
time.
what incites the frustration, is thinking that it's snowing, it's New Year's, you're cleaning up.
yeah. I get
Most of
that.
the time, if we're looking for somebody, I'll usually ask. I'll say, "Yeah, I'm looking for him. Where's he at?" And most of the
Well,
time,
the problem
I won't get
today,
any answers.
the problem today was that someone over there called when we were talking to Elmo,
Oh yeah.
and then Ethan and Marvin showed up and thought it was another health department. So
But when that does happen, when there is a health department, when it is like an actual structured thing, where are they supposed to go when there isn't?
see, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I've talked to all the way
Because
up to
how
the
can
captains.
it be okay for them to be made to leave the only spot that they're somewhat warm and feel protected and safe when there's no place else for them to be?
So I just talked to the general number for the new shelters, and when you initially call them and you ask for availabilities, they say we're full. They say that, and then I say it's Officer Brooks, Salt Lake City Police, and they said, oh, okay, well, so this is the process, and then they go on to tell you that basically at any given time they're full, but they're not.
Saying they're giving the public different information than you, and therefore you're justified in saying they're
No, there's sometimes.
Can I
sometimes
can I
they
just
say
finish my
that's for-
statement and then
Yeah, go
it might answer your question?
Right. I was just
So then they say, well, you, at any given time, the beds are claimed, but people don't claim those beds when it comes time to do the bed checks. So what we recommend is that the people come here, and once again, this goes back to our conversation we had over here just a few minutes ago. They get a bed if someone doesn't show up, and then they get transferred to a warming station, which it's not a nice familial tent, but it's somewhere where they have access to health resources, 24-hour staff, to where some. I
Sometimes
understand.
it's a cold chair with fluorescent lighting and not even a bed. And also, if that's what they're saying is they're claiming time, we're familiar with the concept of a wait list. We know what that means. But if that means that there's beds claimed every night, then there need to be more beds.
Okay.
That's what a shortage is.
Also,
I agree
it's
with
like
you.
a
But
2-hour
that's something
ride
that-
if you have bus fare and someone literally
And
died the other
accessibility
day
is another
trying to
thing.
cross the road.
I'm not gonna go out to 33rd South with no public transport that doesn't run past
So I
10
can
or
get
11
hit by a car
But-
at 11 o'clock at night and fucking
outside
die.
the free fare zone to get harassed by transit police who are also packing heat. Like, come on, man.
But for real though, like what is the thing that could be done?
72214.
So
we
that way,
discussed that
you know,
there.
if there's nowhere for them to go, what then's supposed to be done? And what could be
it's-
done differently?
Sorry, I can't hear you talk. You think?
The administration and the governor's office needs to hear your voices saying there needs to be
Okay.
more beds. They just announced on KSL the other day that they're building another building, and then they have a ton of subsidized housing for the city. And the city does. There's actually a lot of apartment complexes, but it's on the list. The list is hard, from my
It took me a
understanding. It's
year
hard to
and a
get
half.
on. Yeah,
The
and then
list
it's really easy to
You're
get
right.
kicked off of it,
Yes,
right?
or
Yeah.
in for a traffic.
So you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It's very
I'm
flawed.
lucky to have stayed on it for 2
And
years. It's not an
unfortunately,
easy thing.
I'm not going to be able to solve
Right, I'm not
the
asking
issue.
you to solve problems.
What I'm
but,
trying
you
to
know,
do is come to some sort of, not even an
an
agreement or like an
necessarily
accord or
having
anything.
a
Is
dialogue
what
that
can
isn't
we
feeling,
do
like, aggressive.
as law enforcement to show you that our intention's not to uproot these people. It's not to.
That's how
You've
don't
literally showed up
uproot
with
them.
trailers and just thrown everyone's shit in a trailer and taken it to the dump.
I understand the
All their
perception of that, but that's
survivable
not.
belongings.
I can completely empathize with the perception of that. We do not show up with trailers.
Whenever, like, we
The health department shows up with the trailers, and they call us to show up with them.
If a
And I
health
understand.
department official showed up and said, give me a blanket, no one would do it. You are the reason that people give their blankets away because you're the one
I
that's armed.
empathize and I can understand that perception. And I have my own personal views of that perception, and I have my own personal views of exactly what you're speaking to, and I've had conversations regarding that. Okay? I'm trying to figure out a way to where that's not happening. Okay? Because, yeah, I understand that this is America. We all have our own choices. We all get to be our own people. And if some people just don't want to go to a shelter, they don't have to go to a shelter. If they want us to live in a tent, they should. The problem is that it's violating the law. It's whether it's not indoor, but
Also, it's not like
it's not.
no one was like, I want to live in a tent and annoy
Some
cops
people do.
all the time.
It's not the. It's not the.
But at some point, it turns into that. But it's so hard
I
to
talk-
get fucking out of.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
like what she
usually
said.
the
It's
reason
what
that
Tristan
I'm
said
so-
earlier.
done it for
A lot
so
of times when
long.
you do it for so long, that's all they know.
Yeah.
So it's like being in. How many times I can't count how many times I've gone to housing and find out that someone's losing their housing because of a mess or whatnot that they do there.
So
They
actually-
were on the list forever. They finally get housing, and then they do something to get kicked out of housing.
Because
So
they're so
And
used to it
it's
that
almost
they
like they want to come back,
I'm
right?
on the
Yeah.
autism spectrum,
That's
and
like
I've
the
been
constant
homeless.
excuse for
And it's
instead of
really fucking easy, I think,
Instead
for
of the
people with
systemic
neurodifferences to realize they don't fit into a world that they don't fit into.
Sure.
And that can be a problem, but like taking their tents away and shit isn't gonna fix that.
You're right.
Like it alienates them more, and it just convinces them more that no one understands them and no one is interested in helping them.
There are a lot of resources for that. There are a lot, and I think a lot. A lot
there
of
are a shortage.
there are. Have you?
There is a shortage, but would you? I don't know how long you've been exposed to kind of what's going on society-wise, but would you say in the last,
I lived in the world, yeah.
but in the last 3 years, would you say that there's been a lot of improvement in resources? Because Salt Lake City was the first.
Closing it is
Improvement,
improvement,
and then everyone just
Salt Lake
decided
City
that
was the
people were
first
an eyesore.
police department to offer social workers and a resource center for the
Utah
department.
had a
No,
lot
that
of
should be
really
a
good
gift,
shit
but
4 years ago.
So
And then
that's
everyone decided
commendable. It's good that it's there, but like with the cleanup that there was, you know, there were only what was it, two? There were only 2 social workers in that last cleanup that we did.
So were those the highway patrol ones?
Yeah, you know, I'm just saying that like with the ordinances and with all of these things, like it's great that you're doing that, but is it like are you following your own protocols? Like that's the thing
when
that's
you're
frustrating.
expecting people with a lot less power than you to hold a lot of nuance for your position, and I don't know that that's fair.
You know?
The drugs.
So
Like the system doesn't hold any nuance for their position.
So I work day shift, which is different than an afternoon shift or a graveyard shift. So I have resources at my disposal that other shifts don't. So when I make contact with someone, like during the summer or summer months, or even on these things, my conversations typically go like more of a like personal level instead of a I'm a cop, you're below me level. It's I understand. I get addiction. I've had it in my personal life, not me specifically, but I've had family members die from addiction and alcoholism. I've had family members who are currently in recovery. I've had the gamut, so I understand it. I've had them unsheltered. Yes, I had an uncle die underneath the Jordan River Bridge, so I get it. So I get it. I get it. And that's why I don't talk to them as if they're anything other than a person. And my conversations are, hey, today? So, my conversation involves every single time, are you receptive to resources? If I call the social worker and had them come here right now, would you talk to them and go with them and get started on getting housing, getting ID, getting something? That's my conversation with them because I have those resources.
But that occurs at your convenience.
It wasn't the system necessarily. It was
something
going
that
to treatment after.
they have the freedom that you're talking about to kind of like.
Yeah, they do.
If they're available.
Monday through Friday.
There's a shortage, as we've already said. So it's
Monday through Friday, they can walk down to the 5th West, 2nd South corner and go talk to them anytime they want.
Right, but not a downtown shelter.
Oh yeah.
There's a women's shelter 2 blocks that
Yeah,
way.
that just opened. Yeah, we talked to them. They are full too and need more beds.
Okay.
Front desk, give them beds. More beds.
We're doing body checks.
We hear it
all
every
night
day.
long. I'm out here 12 to 6 every night. Like, we're giving people resources, giving them phone numbers, giving them housing numbers. We're doing all that, but like
social workers have been huge. They've been helping
social
a lot.
workers, what fucking social workers?
There's
They're
no
out.
presence.
They're out.
It's not a good
Out
look.
here?
Yeah.
It's not a good
But
look.
you
I've
know
only seen
too,
them out.
It
there's
looks
the
like you're
social
acting in
worker
bad
thing
faith.
in a lot of big cities. They don't do it. That's not a thing. You know who I think started that was New York.
I don't even know if they know what they're doing. Most of the
I
time, they
live
just
there.
sit in the library.
See.
So yeah.
But it's been very, very beneficial, and they've helped a lot of people get into housing.
I guess the ultimate big question is though, what is supposed to differentiate a warrant stop check,
There
whatever
needs
it's
to be-
called? How do we figure that out so that way it doesn't turn into?
I think it's simple as just standing back for a few minutes and
Yeah.
watching and seeing.
And just letting
Because it's pretty obvious when the health department's here, right? They've got 3 or 4 trucks, a big trailer, and that's when you know what's going on. Plus, the biggest clue is the signs they post up minimum of 24 hours in advance, right?
So if the health department's here, you're gonna take everyone's sleeping bags and shit. But if they're not, then we're friends.
That's
No.
not
We've been
correct.
talking for like 45 minutes. I hope you got more than that. And I hope we can come to an understanding.
What?
They want to confiscate. These are all things that the health department needs to actually do that.
To what?
They need to provide adequate time for people to leave. They need to have
So they give them the
people's
20.
names.
They give them the 24 hours
No,
advance.
It's longer than 24 hours. It's about 7 to 10 days.
That's I think. See, that's the other thing is I'm not familiar with the health code and the health law. Like that's.
Do you think you should be though if you're enforcing it?
I'm not enforcing it.
You said
What are you
you were
enforcing?
acting on
I'm
behalf of
no,
the health department.
no. I've never said that. I've actually said the opposite of that.
Because you
I
say
said
it's
they
a
call
law.
us to do a standby assist. It's a.
So they call you.
They call us, yes.
So you're acting on that.
No, it's a civil thing
How's that?
in that we stand by and make sure that fights don't happen. We maintain the status quo as far as that issue.
Is there a fight occurring here?
Today,
In the status quo, we've already agreed is a bed shortage.
so
There was a bed shortage.
so today,
Right, so maintaining the
I don't know if
status
you
quo-
witnessed or were able to hear it. Today wasn't about the health code. It wasn't about a camp cleanup. It was a welfare check that turned into a warrants check that turned into a warrants arrest.
What justified that warrant check?
Here's
They
my
gave them
question.
the name.
Do you come do
So
welfare
your own volition
checks
checks on welfare
specifically
checks?
so you can run warrant checks?
No.
Not necessarily. We can, but not necessarily.
So there's such a thing as a pretext doctrine, right? There's pretext doctrine. Like I can be in a high drug area,
I talked to her. Yeah,
right?
I
And
talked to her.
be
and I was,
looking for drug activity, and I see someone do a drug deal and then they commit a traffic violation, I can pull them over for the traffic violation and then inquire as to the drug stuff, right? Like you can have
Legally, you can do that.
you can have a different objective, but utilize the law. These situations, you've had people die in tents, and then we don't find them for days because we're not checking. So then we're bad guys for not checking on people, but then we check on people, and then we're bad guys for taking away their camp. So it is a catch-22, and I get the perception, especially with the track record.
Bad guys if someone died in a tent.
We haven't. Yes, we have.
Yes.
How?
But
There's very recent.
Like that would be the city council and the resource shortage. But if you weren't involved in it,
No,
Well,
do you
could
recall?
point fingers in like 50 different directions. It could be the alcohol that they consumed and passed out in freezing such weather. You know what I mean?
Do you recall the Occupy stuff that was going on a couple years ago
Yeah.
down at Pioneer Park when that guy died down there? Yeah, that was our fault. So we can so I can talk to you and be like, hey, what's your name? And if you say Pound Sand, okay.
We're just going to be.
But if you say, oh, my name is so and so and such, I can go run your name.
See, that's
Check
the
to see
thing,
your
though,
warrants.
is that I don't need to get warned. I need to know what can be done.
You feel okay doing that?
Yeah,
Because
it's kind of
if they can't get
part of my job.
24/7, I've been
To
in the
unsheltered
police
folks who
where I
have
haven't
no
been able to
resources.
That's
for their
I think you're not hearing what I'm trying to convey.
Well, I was just telling us.
So if I check you for warrants and you got warrants, I'm kind of
but like you get warrants for things like not having a place to go.
So they come from out of state. and
But what if someone's I'm not just worst case scenario. What if someone's camping out here and it's got like murder warrants?
Right. I mean that's a big deal, but like generally the warrants are not violent crimes. They're like criminal trespass.
You're right.
Or like
heard of across
personal
the
drug
nation.
use.
Okay.
Utah County, Davis
I don't know
County,
what these ones were.
I'm
So-
not talking about that. I'm talking
Right,
about like
but like
with the
if you
specific,
run
like,
them,
cleanup
I don't know,
situations,
like
and
just
different
don't fucking
things.
arrest
So
people
what I'm
that aren't
getting at
murderers.
is that there's a lot of people that are living on the streets that aren't getting help at
people who
home.
have those
They're
warrants
getting
out
kicked out
because
by
they don't
parents.
have a
There's no
place to
support
go.
at home. So there's no support at home, especially juveniles.
So,
A lot of
Also,
I'll
like
go-
maybe
I'll
hold some space that not all of your colleagues could be as well intentioned as you are, and that because you're the same group of people, like acting as a group.
I think that I have a pretty good understanding of just based off of not only my professional relationships but personal relationships. I kind of pride myself on being that good middle ground of people because I've learned that
You don't have a support.
on the whole people tend to not look outside of themselves. So I make it a conscious effort every day to look outside myself. And so
constantly getting calls. A lot of people, right?
I don't understand.
I agree that there are instances where people
The government needs to make beds.
can see things in a more gray light,
And right now there is a shelter shortage, right?
and
But that's my point.
I
That's
try
a
to
lot of people are
convey
not
that as best as I
safe.
can
So the
and
government all saying, well, we had let's
convey
say
my views.
5 years ago we had 50.
And I feel like
and then
on the whole,
2019, now we're gonna
Salt
see
Lake
7,000
is
homes.
pretty good about that compared to other interactions I've had with other agencies.
I mean, but like on a national level, that's not saying much. There's a lot of really fucked up police departments, my dude.
I'd say it says a lot.
You're taking certain things.
I mean,
I'm, if you would let me finish a sentence, then I could tell you that the reason that I'm trying to understand is because I'm not saying that you're. And the reason is because there's so many people and it's out of state, and that's the reason why. That's not what I'm getting. I'm just trying to understand what I can do to observe and know, and is that what the general like NCAP? Yeah, I know. I'm saying is that I've asked it, but you haven't answered. So I'm trying to just NCAP here. Is that what you're saying? Observe, try to make sure that that's what's actually happening, and then move forward with that, and that's the general consensus. Is that what you? That's original. That was what my point was. Okay.
And I'm just saying that when we show up, for one, we don't have to tell you what we're doing, but the majority of the time, we are actually just looking for somebody, or we're doing welfare checks. And we have to, by law, we have to respond to citizens' requests. A lot of people are calling. People here call all the time. People in the library call all the time. And we get calls that someone's passed out on the road all the time. So we'll come out and do a welfare check and whatnot, and then we see somebody that we know who they are because we know them. Does that make sense? All right.
Yeah, I was getting what your point was, but I wanted to make sure that I was hearing what we were both were saying consecutively and together as one point. I wasn't trying to have an argument situation with you. That wasn't the point of this.
Well, thank you, Tristan, for talking with us.
Yeah, I mean,
I can almost guarantee you that aside from extreme circumstances, anytime you came to me, even if I was busy with something, and you approached me with a voice of reason and respect, I will talk to you and convey to you what I can.
But not everybody does that.
I'm just telling you that a personal thing. If you see me, and as Marvin says, my weird ass mustache.
it's a great mustache.
Thanks. If you see me and you're like, hey Brooks, when you have a second, can I ask you a question? I will honor that request and I will show you the respect and come talk to you.
I appreciate that, and I see that with both of you, but there was 30 other cops out here that weren't trying to answer any questions.
But those 30 will still do the same thing. It's just that everything was high.
They wouldn't have been.
High. We're just standing there. The majority of us are pretty calm, but we have to keep the peace. I don't think I even took my hands on my. I think none of us were. I mean, we were getting screamed that we have guns and whatnot. It's like, of course you have a gun, but there wasn't ever that threat, you know. So it's like there was a calmness, but we're just keeping order, making sure. Because what happens if we weren't there? What's his name, Marvin?
Yeah.
Who knows?
No, that was Ethan. So I'll tell you that out of those 30 officers, 3 of them knew what was going on. So if you would have asked, you would have had, what is that, a 10% chance of getting an answer? A right answer? Because what happens is a call goes out on the radio and says, hey, we need backup here. All they know is that something's going on and they need to go help. So they show up and they see everyone in a line, and we've been trained to observe body language, and they'll talk to the guy next to them and be like, hey, what's going on? And they see what's going on, and so unless they're given a specific direction, they're going to help the officers that ask for the request. And there's the good faith doctrine. There's the good faith doctrine that says, like, hey, if you're acting in good faith, you're basically exempt unless you see something egregious. And right here, they show up and they say, okay, we've got some very angry people over here. We've got something going on right here. We're going to maintain as much as we can here, even though we have no idea what's going on. So when you say, hey, what's he being arrested? Well, they don't know. And they're not going to answer you because they don't know. And if they say something wrong, they're going to get hung out to dry because everything's recorded nowadays. And it's like, you don't get the chance as a cop to be like, oh, my bad. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I spoke out.
That makes sense.
I've tried talking to Ethan. When he showed up, the first time I met him, I tried talking to him, and I was like, he came up, and I had no idea what it was, and he was like, he started off very professional and very, very articulate, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll talk to you, and then very quickly it was, fuck you, you motherfucker, you piece of shit, and I was like, okay. And then when I get talked to like that, it's obvious that someone has some very passionate beliefs, and they want to express those beliefs, but they don't want to hear me. Because they're at a level emotionally to where they're unable to receive that. So instead of me getting to that level and engaging, I just stay where I can stay calm and rational and not do something stupid and stay peaceful and quiet, and I will respect the necessary questions and answer those, but I'm not going to try to win a shouting match.
That makes sense. Well, I appreciate you guys.
So if you guys can come up with something that works. So, yeah, I don't know.
Like I've really been like typing up this proposal for all sorts of things. I'm really hoping that it gets some sort of traction.
Because like honestly, like
it's I mean a lot of it is
we all want it.
this isn't a solution to the problem.
It's not.
And it's nothing but you see those health department signs come up 24 hours in advance.
Those health department
Go grab
signs
those
are
stuff and
freaking joke.
go move it a couple blocks that way.
When we come, who is it?
He's what?
He's missing at risk, which means family trying to.
Is he hanging around this area?
I haven't seen him out.
I've never seen him, and I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know if it was. Yeah, I don't heard three guys that yelling, and most of them were.
So yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, Tristan and I know you're kind of involved in it too, and like we've been
really?
looking for solutions.
yeah, you're right.
And a lot of it, like I said, is peer support based because nobody wants to accept services from others. Like that's just a fact.
You're right.
They don't trust you guys.
You're right.
So we come down here, like I said, we've got people in the treatment, we've got people on insurance.
Recommend him to the Community Connection Center down
But
down
we
500
have,
West.
And they all know that it's police affiliated, and nobody trusts it because they feel like if
That's-
they go down
I get
there
that all
and
the
they have
time.
warrants or something, they're like, no, we don't want to go.
That's why we have street teams, and a lot of them will come out, but because there's a cop with them,
Right,
I've had
because
it
the
flat
social
out where they
workers-
don't
the
talk to
social
them because the
workers
So
cops stand
you,
there.
you do understand that if and that's what I'm trying to convey to you. If they go down there, even though it is a police substation, if they go and have a talk with a social worker, they're only talking to a social worker.
So, but like if they come out,
And the 4th Street Clinic, they do that. They
Yeah.
go back and just no
well,
PD
and
there.
that's one thing that I'm kind of like wanting to propose is maybe instead of social workers, you have people like us, not necessarily us, but people like us who are peer support,
Yeah.
who have lived down here, who've been through this, who know this whole thing, that can come down because, like I said, we've got people in the treatment, we've got people into DOA,
Yep.
we've brought them to the hospital, we get them
I
to
think-
the shelters.
yeah.
They trust us.
I think that's where the dialogue between
Yeah.
us is very helpful in that, like,
Absolutely.
hey, they've had bad instances. They see me and they see something that happened in their past that was unfavorable.
Right.
Okay, so they're not going to be receptive to the things I have to say. But if I can show you and be like, hey,
And then we can convey
this
that
is
to
what's
them.
going on down at the Community Connection Center. It's not a police. They're not looking for the police solution. They're not looking to arrest people on warrants. They're looking to help the issue, which is people experiencing homelessness, mental illness.
I gotta find my.
I'm calling.
He's probably over
My
there
sponsors,
serving
I can
food.
literally.
So the Community Connection Center, although ran by the police department,
And I know that because I've
So-
gone, like I've went through the whole
Yeah.
pamphlet, like the
so
whole,
try to convey that. And I know it's a slow, very much uphill battle, but
Oh yeah. Like this person over here in the Batman blanket.
Yeah, I've
that's
talked
the
to her
one,
a couple
That's the
times
one that
today.
I've gotten into the DOA, and then when it was time for her to get out, she was clean. She had nowhere to go, so she comes right back to the streets and she starts getting high again. So it's just this endless cycle until they
that's
can
like
come up
that's
with
like Blanca Miranda.
Well, she's got housing now. She just comes.
Do you know how many times she's had housing?
Probably a lot.
She's had housing so many times, but she just doesn't go fill her voucher.
Last library shift I worked, she said, I have housing, my kids living with me, life is good, I just come down here to hang out.
Yeah, that's never the case.
And then she's down here shooting meth and stuff like that. But that's
She
the thing, it's
openly
like
says, I'm selling marijuana.
we also have those people.
Right. And
Where
like,
it's
and
like-
that's another thing. Like a lot of the people down here, we know what they use. We've all been there. Like we know what they're doing, and like we try to do our best to keep them safe. Like I've Narcan personally 3 people down here.
Yeah.
I've helped people during spice seizures. Like we literally.
So
keep them
what can we
alive.
do? Like what is it about the library square that is the draw for people to come in to set up camp?
Because it's close to resources.
What resources?
So I mean, they have a library that they can go in at
Okay.
times.
Okay.
The 4th Street Clinic isn't far.
Okay.
The Wigan Center isn't far.
Okay.
I mean, all of that stuff is centric to downtown.
Okay.
And because this area is so big, we've kind of built a community here. I mean,
Yeah, it's gotten that point, and I think a big part of why you're seeing such a high level of enforcement is that you're getting a lot of people that are
Taking advantage of the homeless. as
well,
in
and that's what
drug
I was
dealers.
telling him. Like, I could sit here and I could probably point out who all the dealers are down here.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah,
sure
we
you
can
guys
too.
But there's people that actually come from elsewhere in cars. They pull up, they park, they blend in. But like,
Yeah.
I would love nothing more than for those assholes to leave these people alone and
So-
stop getting them deeper into holes.
So we show up. The dealer has his holder bounce, and they just kind of hang out. And even if we stop them, they don't have anything on them.
Like, shit,
What?
I'll take pictures next time. Like, I don't care. I just want them gone. I hate them.
And unfortunately, I get where Marvin's coming from with his passion.
Oh, yeah,
I
I do
can
too.
empathize with that. I don't understand Ethan's because I don't know his history. But
He's
I'll
just a
tell you,
really intense
I'll
guy.
tell you that dealing with those two from a very subjective place, it does not feel like they are trying to achieve a solution. It seems like they just want to yell at someone.
So I'll say this. I actually told my husband the other day because we started this project right about Thanksgiving. We started this project, and
What's the project name?
it doesn't really have a name. We're just
It's
individuals.
Project Awesome.
It's
I named it.
like we come out every night. Like there's someone out here from 9 p.m. till 6 a.m. every night.
Okay.
There's someone out here
Okay.
giving resources, giving hot chocolate, giving hot food, blankets, gloves, warming stuff. And I mean, it's been every night for almost 2 months now.
Okay.
And but I do feel like they're taking it in an opposite direction of what we're trying to do.
So
Because I myself, like, I have to be very careful with what I say because I don't really know them that well. Like,
Yep.
I'll be completely honest. Like, I know them through this,
Yep.
but that's the extent of it. And in order for me to get things done, I have to be very careful about who knows, like, that I'm talking to cops, or who knows that, like, I'm talking with the health department. I'm supposed
Totally
to be,
get that.
like, I'm supposed to be meeting with the health department next week with Nicholas Rupp from the health department,
And they're holding it against you for doing that?
well, they don't know
Oh.
because I don't know what they're capable of.
I feel like I didn't get. Is it Tristan?
Yeah,
Tristan, yeah.
I feel like she would be a good medium.
Tristan is actually living with me right now.
I feel like she would
got
be.
angry.
She,
told her
I
I
would
would
feel-
gets very passionate.
I feel like she would be a very good person to kind of be that intermediary
Yeah.
between the two groups and kind of convey to her like, hey,
like when I
As
tell
soon as
you,
he started
like,
walking up, she said it's good, and he just turned around and
yeah.
walked away.
So with all of that, like they're just really intense people.
so the one guy, hard to give a description without sounding inappropriate, and the
say
girl, nope, not gonna say it. And the girl that were over there right before you came over, I was for the first time was about to kind of everything had kind of come down a little bit, and I was starting to engage them and
Was the guy
talk
with
to
a bandana on his face?
this guy next to that guy with the.
Hood.
Native?
Big hood, the
The
native
guy
guy.
that when they came and asked me if I was okay.
So, I was actually talking to them, and I was starting to talk to them just like we are, and then Marvin walked over and started, "Oh fuck you!" And then
Yeah.
as soon as that happened, those two started blop, right back up.
It gets people really escalated.
Yeah. So
But I don't want myself to be in any kind of jeopardized like situation.
I know-
So I
so-
just try to be very careful about the things that I do and say.
so
But I actually met with Catherine Fife at Ginny Wilson's office earlier this week. I'm meeting with the health department next week, and I'm actually putting together a proposal for.
So 90% of everybody mother effing us, we're
Yeah.
all saying, hey, what can you do? What are you doing? What are you doing? And it's like, Dr. Earth, you sound like you got all this shit what you're doing. And it's like, where's the voice of reason saying, you guys,
I'm just
let me
outnumbered
take
because
care
I'm
of
not
it.
part of a group or an organization. I'm just on my own.
Right.
And so with everyone that hates everybody, like I'm just kind of stuck there, and I'm like,
Well,
and that's why when
that's
they
why
sit there and they berate us and want us to answer questions, why we don't say anything because
yeah.
you got Marvin and Ethan sitting there just yelling
Can't have a conversation.
and I'll try to have a conversation and then they just yell and it's just like, well, answers, name, badge number, your
Yeah.
camera on,
who's the other guy
hands
that
up, don't
does
shoot,
the,
like, and it's like,
Which one?
okay,
What's
I don't know.
that?
It's closed.
It closed at 6 today.
So yeah,
and
when
I-
we
and
show
I
up,
get that.
when we
It's
show
six
up
every
and
day,
like we want to have this dialogue of that, like this is messed up that the health department is doing, and they start raising a ruckus. Our willingness to kind of put our neck out there,
Yeah, don't do that. 'Cause
and
it will be all over
no,
the
no,
internet.
I'm saying our willingness to put our neck out there and like maybe like do what we can to help them out goes away because it's like I don't know, this might bite me.
Yeah.
Because I was even talking like the thought of, because we were talking about the health department coming and taking people's bikes and their blankets and their sleeping bags, and then there was one lady out here.
You've been down here during cleanups. Like I know
I've been down here once.
Okay.
Luckily, I don't know how I lucked out the other ones, but I've only been down here
I was
once.
part of the huge cleanups down there in Rio 3 years ago.
Okay.
And so I was like, one of them was like, well, why can't I grab the blankets and go wash them? Like if it's a health hazard,
that
why
me?
can't? I don't know. It might have been.
Because I throw that argument out.
And
there
I
all
was
the
like, so
time.
I took that to the captain, and I was like,
I'll sign a waiver. If
I was
have
like,
to.
why can't I do that? And he's like, honestly, it's a health department thing, and I I get where it
That's
is. Like
what
they can't release the health hazard to people because if it's a health hazard or releasing to people, then why? But my thing is kind of a little more on your side
Health
of like.
hazard is picking up the syringes and don't leave them behind for us to pick up because we're the ones that do the majority of that.
So I'm sitting there trying to figure out a way to kind of like preserve life, but still maintain a healthy environment.
Right.
And
But then when
controlled healthy environment.
Yeah,
something
but
that's
then-
not like
So, like, that's one of the things I'm presenting to the health department guy. His name's Gary something or another.
So one thing to say is that that's my mindset is like, okay, these people aren't going to go anywhere. They do need to protect themselves. But then I have Marvin and Ethan coming screaming at me. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, you know what, buddy?
Like everything we're trying to do,
Yeah.
like, completely like undermines like our.
it takes 10 steps back.
Yeah, and it just
That
kills
whole
any
scenario with
progress.
Bart, that was like 50
And
steps
that was
back.
like we had a rally at the road home right before it closed. Like a couple of us organized that, and it was a peaceful rally. It was
Yeah.
great. I don't know if any of you guys were there, but then right after that, they shut down city council.
Yep.
And so it was like we made some progress. We got some information out. Like we've got some.
The city council one at the Pioneer Precinct.
The one just right here.
Oh.
But they went in and they packed the meeting and they shut it all down.
So you know the majority of our concerns. We know your concerns.
Yeah.
What can we do to kind of? Obviously, we're not going to solve it.
Right.
But just for an example, there's a couple of businesses very close to us that are losing tenants because their customers refuse to come to the building because of what's going on here.
So for the most part, these people are about to be moving on.
What do you mean?
The people that are right here, these people that are camping, they're about to be moving on. Like they move around.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be moving on soon.
Yeah. So what can we do to like?
What's her name? Catherine, the lady in the green van.
Uh-huh.
I've talked to her probably 60 times, and she's literally from here to here to here to here to here, and now she's right here. And I haven't seen her toe for a bit.
So what can we do to minimize the impact on the unwittigs? The people that they want to do what they need to do for themselves and their families that are being affected by the other people that are experiencing homelessness. What can we do to minimize that impact? Because that's where all this is being driven from. It's being driven from people's livelihoods being affected because
and I
customers
get
won't
that.
show up. So I know that's not an answer we're going to have right now, but maybe
Right,
talking
that's
with
definitely something that we can talk about.
with
think
your
about.
people over
Because
there.
I know that the trailer and like the tent and everything, like they're moving on soon. And
But
I'm
even-
probably
I'm just
going
saying,
to be- but they follow like wherever we are.
Yeah. So
I know, and I've heard through the grapevine that they're probably going to be putting up no trespassing signs down there soon as well.
where else?
Down here in front of these businesses.
It's true. But then what's going to happen when we start arresting people for trespassing?
It's just going to get
Marvin
worse.
and Ethan's going to show up and freak out at us again. So is that really solving a problem?
No, it's putting a band-aid on it.
So
But that's
what
definitely something I'll talk about. And
yeah,
like,
that would
kind
be
of figure
great
out,
if
but-
you could talk to and just come to something to where it's not going to solve the problem, but it's going to make it a lot more manageable and a lot less harsh on both sides.
No, for sure. But yeah, that's definitely something we need to discuss and have a dialogue about with everyone. But the thing that's hard is that when I try to present solutions to people, I get shut down, and I'm like, "How's that fucking boot taste?" Like,
Yeah.
it's not something. They're not very reasonable.
I think that there are some very predominant voices in your group that don't want to see a solution.
Oh, yeah, and that's not my group. That's just I just happened like me and two other people started this, and then other groups got involved, and it just kind of got taken over. And that's
So
and
just
that
so
for
you know,
me is
because
hard
we've
because-
had conversations,
Yeah.
and there's been conversations with mines and everything. The conversations don't end when we stop talking. There have been several conversations regarding the way things are handled here, and the flaws that we are observing, and the civil rights implications that we are observing.
And he's
Those-
actually like emailed me a little kind of. He's like, just so you know, like I'm taking these conversations and I'm talking to
And
other
not just
people."
him, because he's in a different unit than I'm in.
Yeah.
I've had conversations. I've had conversations with my boss. I've had conversations all the way up to the captain. So these conversations are happening.
And that's good to know. Like
Yeah.
that makes me feel hopeful. It makes me feel very hopeful. It's just seeing something change
Yeah.
is the big issue. And I feel like it's just gonna get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's, yeah. I put a lot into that. Like, I've put so much time away from my family. I've sacrificed so much.
Yep.
But it's getting to a point where I'm like, I don't know that I can keep doing it with the people that I'm doing it with. And
Yep. And that's
because
the problem on both ends.
I can't jeopardize my safety and my family's livelihood.
There's some people that are just wanting to be angry, and this is a great avenue to be angry about. And then there are people who are genuinely trying to find a solution. This isn't why I became a cop. I didn't become a cop to mess with people who.
I actually wanted to be a cop years ago, and my ex-husband was like, over my freaking dead body.
So I'm not here to stomp on people that are already down. If I could figure out a solution, if I had a solution, I'd be working for it. But I just, in 5 years, everything that I've tried is.
It's just not as easy because it's such a complex issue. Like, there's
Correct.
so many reasons for each person's. Like, everybody has a story. Like, when I was out here because of domestic violence. My ex-husband put a protective order on me as kind of like a final fuck you.
Yeah.
And it put me out of my house. It took my kid. And I ended up out here with no family because I'm not from here. Like, I was moved here for isolation purposes. So I get it. Like, and I've come into contact with women who are in that same situation. There was a woman that we found today huddled up in a parking garage.
Yeah.
We brought her food and we brought her clothes and we went and took her stuff and washed it and dried it and brought it back to her. And like, it's just tackling those underlying issues and a lot of them are mental health, which is not an easy fix. But I feel like, I mean, this is something we could definitely discuss at a later time as well. I would like to keep these conversations going, and I would like to keep productive dialogue going, just so it doesn't fall to the wayside.
It's not. I've had several conversations because I have my own personal feelings about it. I have my own professional feelings about the way things are being handled, and although the way things are articulated to me, the health department does have the right to take that stuff. I personally, in the way that I
just wish
interpret the law and the Constitution, I feel like things should be handled a little different.
I just wish that, like, because sometimes they come, like, most of the time they come early in the morning.
9 o'clock. I'll tell you that.
Earlier than that.
They're here at 9 o'clock.
Right.
It's 9 o'clock. Almost every single time it's 9 o'clock.
So, but they're coming out, it's cold. You've got some people who are older, they can't get up, they can't move fast, like, and it, like, that's kind of where, like, the whole Marvin Oliveras conversation comes back in. Like, we're out here helping people break down tents, move their stuff, while they're doing this and screaming in your face.
Yep.
Like, so we're trying to be part of the solution. And it's just hard. Like, but I wish that they would give, like, a heads up.
They do.
So we could come, well, I mean, they give the 24-hour notice, and that's typically how we know to get down here. But the last couple of times, the notices weren't dated. Like, there were some that were dated from the 11th. They never put up one over here for the one on the 16th.
So they...
Like, I took pictures of it to see, like, it's legit. And there was one way down there that said the 16th, but all of these said the 11th. And so I was told that they don't even have to put those up. It's a courtesy.
I think it is.
Because the camping signs, the permanent signage over there, acts as the permanent.
Yep.
And so, like, I just wish that we had...
It was good talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Have a good night.
So.
I just wish that we had, like, a definitive, like, hey, this is going to happen tomorrow. Can you help get people out? Because I would be down here in a second helping clean up and get people out of here. But I'm not going to keep you because I know you've got a job to do.
So,
and I'm freezing. I'm
Go
wet
ahead.
And cold and got
I'll
food
probably
to serve.
see you sometime in the next...
Oh, I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
Yep.
Let's just hope it's a positive.
I hope so. You too.